And a good comedy set, it seems effortless, but every word and reaction is there for a reason because it was crafted, and that's what separates the good from the great. And I wonder if, as your skills have developed as a filmmaker, elements that once didn't have a purpose, like maybe in Puddle Cruiser, you just sort of like picked shots without thinking about them at all because they were easy. They've all become purposeful and well thought out, and then they contribute to the whole.
Yes. Like, it's a style of filmmaking that we employ now. Like, everything is there for a reason. Every shot, everything is there purposefully. Like in a stand-up set, every word is specifically purposeful. There are comics. I've talked to Adam Sandler about this because he was originally going to produce Beerfest. He was a big fan of Supertroopers, and he's a great guy, and he's like enormously successful, more so than we are. But I said to him, I'm like, because we were talking about a certain joke, and he goes, you should just, you should put that joke in. I'm like, somehow to me the joke kind of pierces the ceiling of our films tonally. Like, we have a bandwidth, and all the jokes have to fit within the bandwidth. And if something pops out of the top, it's probably not going to make the movie because it's like, well, just pierce the reality a little bit too much, right? If somebody, for example, sprouts wings and flies across the thing, you're like, I don't know, how did that happen? Do I believe any of the rest of this shit now? And we had a discussion, and I said, in our films we just keep it within this bandwidth. And he goes, in our films, if it's funny, it's in the movie. And I'm like, that's why you guys are way more successful than us. But it's a tonal thing, right? It's like he has a tone that works beautifully for his audiences. I mean, he's the number one guy on Netflix still, and we have a tone that is like, if it's funny and it fits the movie, then it's in our movie. I mean, he has some line too that it's like it's too stupid and he wouldn't put it in. I know he does, but his general overriding philosophy is, and some people are like that. Like, I think early Will Ferrell was a little more like, if it's funny, it's in the movie. Because I think Anchorman, you're like, there are certain improvs that seem to break the wall of the viewer's perception of what's going on, and yet they're incredibly funny. I love Anchorman. I love Step Brothers. But we are a little tighter, I think, a little more controlled, and frankly, a little less popular. What can I say? I mean, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't. It's just like a driving force as to each of us, Sandler, Farrell, we have a very specific opinion about what's funny, and that's it. And it's reflected in the films.